The film begins in year 1943. Here we see a young woman named Mahua. She is about to get married, and her mother is getting her ready. The next day, she's getting married to a friend of Mahua's. Both arrive ready and appear very happy. Their wedding has just begun when Mahua looks back and her condition worsens. What happened to her? This is the story of this movie, which we'll explore further. From here, the scene shifts several years ahead, where we see a young woman named Tasia about to get engaged, and her friend is getting her ready. Her other friend, a photographer, arrives and begins taking pictures. Shortly after, her fiancé, Salim, arrives, and upon seeing her, exclaims, "Wow, you look so beautiful." They return downstairs, where they perform the rituals and perform the engagement ceremony. Everyone is overjoyed. Salim thanks his stepmom and dad for raising him as a foster parent, as his biological parents had passed away. Later, while they were eating dinner, Tasia saw an old woman, startled by her appearance. The next moment, the old woman vanishes. Some time later, Tasia dreams of an old mansion, where she sees a decomposing corpse. A butterfly emerges from it. When Tasia regains consciousness, she finds herself sitting in a hotel. Salim asks her where she was lost. She recounts her dream. "I saw an old house where I saw a woman's corpse." Salim immediately replies, "Oh, I remember when our engagement was going on. My aunt called me, but I didn't answer her call. My aunt is the only one I have a blood relation with." Salim goes to the bathroom, where he receives a call. He's told that his aunt has died. He's shocked. But then, to his surprise, he discovers that his art is calling him. When he picks up, his art says something in a voice that frightens him and he hangs up. He then goes to Tasia and tells her about it. He says, "I have to go to my old house. After my art's death, that house is now mine, and I had to go there and perform my art's funeral, that is, bury them." Tasia asks him, "How can I handle the pre-wedding photoshoot alone?" He says, "I'll talk to my photographer friend, who will take the photos and videos alone." Salim's nose starts bleeding. This makes them both uneasy, but she gives him a tissue to clean it up. The next day, Salim leaves to go there, and Tasia is talking to him on the phone. The photographer and another friend of Salim's are also sitting there. Salim explains to her how to do the photo shoot. Hearing this, the photographer feels very sorry for Tasia. So he puts his hand on hers and comforts her. He says, "Don't worry. I'm here with you. I'll take care of you." When Salim's other friend sees this, he is both disgusted and shocked by his actions. Here, we learn that Salim's photographer friend likes Tasia. Meanwhile, Salim goes to his old house, where he performs a ritual. He lights incense sticks and places them in front of photographs of his ancestors, the deceased members of his family. Tasia again has a dream where she is in the same house where Salim had visited. Suddenly, the door of the house opens, and when she enters, she sees Salim's body inside the coffin. Seeing this, she screams loudly, and her eyes snap open. She immediately calls Salim, who isn't answering her call. Then she sees that Salim has sent her his location. Seeing this, she realizes she must go there, as she is deeply worried about Salim. She immediately books a car and arrives. When she enters the house, she is astonished to see it was the same house she saw in her dream. She goes deeper and searches for Salim, but he is nowhere to be found. But she finds photographs of all of Salim's forefathers. Just then, Salim emerges from a room and embraces her, and she tells him how she saw the dream. Hearing this, Salim says, if you're having such dreams, I'll pray for them in front of my forefathers and ask them to help you. Don't bother. At night, we see Mahwa's spirit in the house, wearing a wedding dress and a photo of her. Then, the candles suddenly go out on their own, and we learn that this was actually Mahwa's house, where she was married, but then the poor woman died. Salim shows Tasia a photo of Mahwa, telling her, this was my great-grandmother. But something terrible happened on their wedding day, which led to the death of my poor great-grandmother. We see Mahwa's spirit secretly watching them. The next day, Salim's friend, the photographer, and Tasia's friend also come here, because Salim and Tasia had decided to get married here. When they arrive, they are overjoyed to see the spacious house. An uncle also comes there, who gives Salim many things to appease him. He also says, I don't live far away, and if you need anything, please remember me. After this, everyone returns to their rooms and settles in. When Salim goes to talk to his friend, blood falls on him from the ceiling. But when he regains consciousness, he realizes it's not blood but water. Meanwhile, Tasia's friend is trying to convince him that he should forget about his dream because he's getting married, so he should smile a little. Tasia smiles at this, feeling like she's ruining her mood by thinking about it. Then, her friend goes outside, where she looks at photos of Salim's forefathers. She takes a photo of Mahwa on her phone and shows it to everyone, saying, look, her dress is so beautiful. Salim tells them that this is his great-grandmother, whose name was Mahwa, and she was a great singer. They put on her cassette and are overjoyed to hear her song, as they really liked it. But Tasia feels strange, because she heard the same song in her dream, while Tasia was working in the kitchen that night. A photographer came to meet her and asked, what did you see in Salim that made you marry him? Tasia told him, I love Salim very much, and he does too. The photographer said, but he probably doesn't love you as much as I do. That's why I'm saying there's still a chance. Come with me. We'll get married. I'll make you very happy. But she should refuse. Just then, the photographer noticed a door. He asked, what's that door? Tasia replied, Salim's forefathers are buried behind this door. Tasia went into her room and began checking the fit of her dress. But then, she saw something in the mirror, and the light suddenly went out. This frightened her a little, and she turned on the flashlight and began searching for Salim. But then, she entered a strange room where she saw the ghost of Mahwa, terrifying her. But then suddenly she disappears. The next moment, Mahwa appears before her again, very close, causing Tasia to close her eyes. When she opens them, Salim is there, overjoyed to see her, and embraces him. She tells Salim everything, describing how she sees Mahwa's spirit there. Salim then explains that Mahwa's soul hasn't yet found the peace one gets after death, as she died shortly after her wedding, and that Mahwa's body itself is a mystery. It was a mystery, as no one has ever found her body. Therefore, she feels that her soul is still wandering. Hearing this, Tasia says that whatever is happening here is and will always be with her, and that together, we will defeat the curse of this family. Salim tells her that his aunt had incense sticks in her yard that she used to light. But after her death, those incense sticks couldn't be lit. Perhaps this is why her spirit is wandering here. The next morning, her friend is getting Tasia ready, and Salim also takes a liking to Tasia. When her friend opens the drawer, she finds a butterfly clip which she is delighted to see and keeps. After this, they all go to the graves of Salim's forefathers and Light incense sticks so that the souls of those wandering there may find peace. Her friend puts the butterfly clip in Tasia's hair. Then, the photographer starts taking pictures of them both. Every time the camera flashes, Tasia begins to see strange visions of the past, which frighten her so much that she faints on the spot. Salim picks her up and leaves her in the room so she can rest. But then his nose starts bleeding, and he leaves without showing anyone. While Salim's friend is looking at the photos, he sees a forefather behind Tasia, who is none other than me. He is astonished to see this and shows it to the photographer. This makes them both understand that there is a spirit there. When Tasia regains consciousness, she looks out the window. Salim's friend is telling Tasia's friend, "We've seen a ghost in the photo. So let's get out of here before something happens." But Tasia's friend tells her, "I'm not going anywhere because Tasia is my friend, and I can't leave her." When Tasia emerges, she again sees me, who is spirit, who takes her into a room. When Tasia arrives, she suddenly hears singing coming from inside a wall. So she calls Salim and asks him to break it down. When Salim breaks down the wall, he finds another room inside. Inside that secret room, they find Mahwa's corpse, a butterfly emerging from her mouth. Seeing this, they are all astonished and wonder what her body is doing there. Their friend shows them the same picture and says that it's Mahwa whose spirit is wandering here. They must quickly free her so that her spirit doesn't continue to wander here. He says, "I'm feeling very scared here. You do this because I don't want Majid to stay here anymore." With this, he quickly leaves. Tasia then lights incense sticks in front of the forefathers. But suddenly, Mahwa's corpse appears beside her. She is terrified and screams loudly. Hearing her voice, her friend comes over and is shocked to see her in such a state, as it was the next morning and Tasia had arrived in her sleepwalking state. After this, they dig up Mahwa's grave and place her body inside her coffin. In a way, they had absolved her by burying her so that her soul would find peace and not wander. Some time later, Tasia's friend returned from her bath and found all the flowers in the house blooming. This astonished her. She wondered how the flowers had bloomed in just 1 hour. Then she heard singing, and when she entered a room, she saw Tasia singing there. She called out to her, but Tasia was not listening at all. This led her to understand that Mahwa had possessed Tasia. That is, she had entered her body and had Tasia under her control. Seeing this, she immediately went to the man who had told her to come to him whenever she needed help. This man was actually a priest. He told Tasia's friend that he had heard a lot about this old mansion. The sound of someone singing is often heard from there. When she explains everything, he agrees to help them. Meanwhile, when Tasia regains consciousness, the photographer comes to her again. He tells her to leave Salim because there's a curse in his family. But she replies, "I love Salim very much, and no matter what happens, I can't leave him. If Salim dies because of this, I'll kill myself." Salim, standing by the window, listens to all this and realizes how deeply Tasia loves him. Salim sits in front of the graves and lights incense sticks. Tasia arrives and tells him they must leave. He then says, "Because of this family's debt, I can't leave. So you should listen to her. Marry her, and be happy." But Tasia says, "I only love you. I can't belong to anyone else, you crazy girl." That night, while Tasia is in her room, she sees a butterfly clip. Suddenly, she hears the sound of a song. Following the sound, she finds Mahwa hanging upside down. She shows Tasia a vision, or a thought. What happened to her that led to her death? Then, Tasia sees that Mahua and her friend were about to get married, deeply in love. Her friend had given her the butterfly clip and told her to wear it on their wedding day. On the day of their wedding, some soldiers arrived because they were against them. The man was Chinese, and they didn't want an Indonesian woman to marry a Chinese man. However, the wedding had already taken place, so they killed everyone, including the groom. He killed Mahua. She was devastated by the loss of her husband. She cried profusely, remembering him. She didn't want to live. So she took out a butterfly clip and slit her throat, killing herself instantly. Tasia was deeply shocked and saddened by this. She immediately took the clip and was about to slit her throat, but Salim arrived and stopped her. She explained to him how she had seen in a vision what had happened to Mahua and her husband, leading to their deaths. Just then, Tasia's friend brought a priest who said they needed to perform a ritual to comfort the spirit. The spirit was searching for its lost love, her husband. Therefore, a virgin would have to marry her, meaning her corpse, and someone would also have to go into the spirit world to find her lost love. When their souls were together, they would see their corpses. In this way, we will perform a proper funeral for both of them so that their souls may find eternal peace and never return. Tasia is now ready to enter the spirit world. The priest takes her to another room. He gives her a matchbox and a piece of paper with a spell written on it. He tells her that when she finds Mahua's husband's spirit, burn it in front of him. This will ensure his spirit joins her. Meanwhile, Salim and the photographer begin digging Mahua's grave. Salim tells her, "You're constantly coming between me and Tasia. Change your habits. Understand? Otherwise, it won't be good for you." Hearing this, the photographer becomes enraged. He strikes Salim, knocking him unconscious. He then throws him back into the grave. Meanwhile, the priest has sent Tasia into the spirit world, where she sees numerous spirits before her. That's why she began calling out to Mahua's husband's spirit. When Tasia's friend came out, she saw Salim lying unconscious. She immediately woke Salim, and he went inside where the photographer was. Salim hit him on the head, causing him to bleed and fall unconscious. Tasia finds the spirit of Mahua's husband. She burns the paper with the spell in it in front of him, and he agrees to come with her. When she regains consciousness, she sees priest lying dead there. Horrified, when she enters the room, she finds Salim, who had seated the photographer next to Mahua's corpse. His plan was to get them married so that Mahua's spirit would be gone forever. But the photographer gets up and attacks Salim. He begins strangling him, killing him instantly. When he moves forward, he sees Tasia, who falls face down in front of him, vomited. He is shocked by this sight. But we know that after Salim's death, Tasia also died, and Mahua possessed her. Tasia then attacks her savagely, killing her on the spot. Just then, Tasia's friend arrives with the police. She sees the photographer's body lying next to Mahua's. This means the ritual has been completed. Then we see two butterflies, the spirits of Salim and Tasia. Then we also see the two butterflies, possessed by the spirits of Mahua and her husband. They leave for the city to create their own world, reuniting after so many years of death, and are overjoyed. Apparently, their incomplete love, which had been fulfilled, was only possible through Salim and Tasia's sacrifices, and the movie ends with this. Thanks.